introduce my first piece, and actually, two of the people who collaborated with me on a lot of those performances that we did at College of Marin, Romulo Torres Carroll, why don't you come up here and say hi to the camera, Romulo?
Hi.
And Adam Roy.
Yay.
So this piece is something that I wrote recently. It's called A Real American Dinner Conversation. And Adam will be playing man 1, Romulo will be playing man 2, and I'll be reading the stage directions.
Okay.
You guys ready? Lights up. Two men are seated across from one another at a dinner table in what presumably is a fancy restaurant. They're in the middle of eating a steak dinner with mashed potatoes and creamed spinach or any kind of mushy side dish that would result in a satisfyingly messy splat when thrown. There is a bottle of wine, a bread basket, and butter dish. Both men wear business suits and full clown makeup, maybe even frizzy orange wigs or the like. As the lights come up, man 1 continues to speak, as though he's already in the middle of saying something.
Yeah, but you really got to hand it to them there. Yeah, the Nazis sure had a flair for style. And they look good, you know, you can't deny it. There's something about the whole SPQR, New Roman Empire shit. It just appeals to the senses. And damn, those Gestapo with those leather overcoats and all. I mean, I'd even dress like that if people didn't think I looked like a Nazi. The bastards had to go and ruin it. Now, the color schemes, too. Now, red, white, and black. Yeah, really made those swastikas pop. But I'm only saying this because, I mean, you know, I'm not a Nazi. Of course not. But damned if there aren't some things to admire about them. Surely enough time has passed, right? Surely enough time has passed for us to be able to say, yeah, they were evil motherfuckers, but at least they sure knew how to dress. Or is that too verboten? Is it possible for there to be nothing redeeming about some people because of one little awful thing they did? You know, are we not allowed to say, yeah, I know that priest raped children and all, but he could preach one hell of a sermon. And did you ever try his paella? Divine. Because surely some child rape doesn't negate the fact that his paella is incredible. But then again, you wouldn't go trying his paella after that, would you? Just like I won't go around wearing a leather trench coat. It's just too gauche for words. But take, for example, take Eichmann, for example. Now, he wasn't just killing Jews, right? No, he was just signing papers. But they weren't people, they were numbers. Digits printed on paper that burns just as good as any human body. The banality of evil, right? And we can shake our heads and say, you know, bullshit. Bullshit, Mr. Eichmann. You weren't just signing papers, you were killing Jews. How dare you? And I'm not saying that wasn't the case. I'm not saying that he wasn't a son of a bitch who didn't deserve what he got in the end. But there was some truth to it, don't you think? Because I'm not just buying shoes. I'm supporting child wage slavery in Burma. We're not just drinking wine, we're condoning the atrocious labor conditions of migrant farm workers. Which reminds me. You? Okay. So, in a way, we've got to treat it as numbers, as merely ink on a page than something that's actually real. Because if we stop to think about it for too long, well, we wouldn't be able to move again. And so maybe Eichmann was on to something there. Now, keep the real in the realm of the abstract, and we can get through the day without killing ourselves. Make them all numbers on a page. Make them a thing, or make them all objects, because then, well, you're not a person. You're a thing, an object. Just a thing, not something real. You're not a you. You're an it. And that can help you sleep at night. It can help you buy those clothes and eat that food and drive those cars. It's what makes scientists think of nuclear weapons as interesting physics problems. It'll get you through the day. Because look, the newspapers, they don't say today we accidentally killed 10 helpless Afghan babies. No, it says 10 killed and yada, yada, yada. See, we make them a number so they don't have to think about the reality of it. The reality being 10 babies oozing pink-gray brains from their little brown skulls. No. Now, the reality is simply 10 killed. It's passive. And we didn't do it. It couldn't be helped. 10 killed. So what this all smacks of, if you'll allow me, what it suggests is that cannibalism is much more plausible than you give it credit for. Because if this steak were once, what if this steak were once a human being? We wouldn't know it's beef aside from the fact that it looks and tastes like it. Human might taste like human. Human might taste like beef too, for all we know. And it would be a lot easier to stomach it if it did, right? If we were sitting here tearing into some poor immigrant fattened for slaughter, and then we could talk about his marbling. In fact, it almost makes you want to eat a person. Or better yet, eat the person you just raped. Because that's what 10 killed is, essentially. The abstraction. It's what allows us to rape and cannibalize. And then, well, then you'd be truly powerful, right? You dominate entirely. To be inside something that is inside you, like a snake, eating its own cock. Yes, it would make you God. Excuse me. So where was I? Ah, yes. We're not fucking monkeys, man. And think about it. We're not. And as nice as it would be to be one, it wasn't meant to be. But just because we aren't monkeys doesn't mean we shouldn't be. And it is in keeping with that spirit that I try to live my days. To be the best goddamn monkey I can be. When it's appropriate, at least. Because here, even though I've got these demons screaming at me just to smash your face in, like into a heaping pile of my own shit. I like taking a cream pie, but you know, a shit pie. And that's where I think those monkeys have the supreme advantage. Because when all is said and done, a monkey would just howl at you. You know, bare its fangs and tear into your eyeballs because just look at you.
In disgust, Man 1 flings some of his mashed potatoes at Man 2. Man 2 does not react.
And then he'd make you play catch with a healthy wad of his own shit.
This time, the cream spinach flies across the table and hits Man 2. Again, he does not react.
No, fuck that. You be playing fetch, mouthing his excrement after the chase, you fucking dog. You bitch, you goddamn monkey's bitch.
Man 1 slaps Man 2 across the face with his steak. No reaction. A few moments for Man 1 to catch his breath.
And that's just what's so tragic about the whole endeavor. Oh, you've got a little something. You got it. Well, all I can say is that it really makes you wonder. Yes, sir. It really makes you wonder. What's for dessert?
Bye, Cal. Okay.